say my faith is stronger than it's ever been before. And I will forever keep my eye.
Hello, world. You're tuned in to Brother to Brother. This is the innovative social awareness show that reaches out all over the world to those of you that are young and those of you that are young at heart. We specialize in talking to teenagers, college, age group of students. My name is Jeremy Williams. This is Chris Williams. This is my brother from the same mother. And Chris, I want to welcome everybody that's tuned in: Instagram, Facebook, Roku, YouTube Live, Amazon Live. Our information is at the bottom of the screen. If you get in contact with us, we can let you know when we're going to be in your city. We can let you know when we'll be recording. You can come be a part of our in-house studio audience. And Chris, I'm excited about this topic today. You and I have been talking about mastery. We've been talking about becoming. And you brought out a beautiful insight to those that might not have heard the first broadcast. Could you again redefine what the future is?
Well, I think we've really built, and we're building a house on something that's revolutionary. When we talk about the idea of our future, we talked about that, usually the future is something that we say is a timeline. We're going, at a certain point in time, something that hasn't happened yet.
Right.
And we found out that to be something that's not true. It's not a full truth, at least, that there is still a measure of time that is going to happen before that you're not experiencing right now. This year will end, this day will end, and we don't know. That end of this day is going to come regardless, 24 hours in every day. But there is something else that we engage in called the conscious application, the conscious pursuit, of our end game. And we get engaged in that by preparation, by evolution of our skills, our talents, and our abilities, by putting things on our plate. And when you actively engage in that, that's when you can determine or you can experience a future. Jesus said, the Word of God says this. He says, I have thought about you from the beginning. I'm going to paraphrase it in my own way. He says, I've thought about you from the beginning over in Jeremiah. He said, to bring you to an expected end, to give you a future and a hope. All right? But that hope and that future involves a plan. It involves a purpose. It involves walking some things out. And so we have to get engaged in that process if we really want to participate in the future.
Well, it's so easy, Chris, and I've experienced this in my life. I'm sure our audience has experienced this. It's so easy to get caught up in the routine of the day. You wake up, turn the TV on, eat your bowl of cereal, or cereal, that's how we say it in Silsby. Eat your bowl of cereal. You go to work, you go wherever you go, you come home, you eat. You eat the same stuff every day. You see the same people. Even though I remember when, we used to tear the clubs up. Now, my brother and I, we're licensed ordained ministers, but we hadn't always been in church. You know what I mean? We hadn't always had families and wives and that sort of thing. We used to tear the club up. Hey, all right. So even in that, when we would go to those party scenes, we would see the same people. Sometimes they'd have the same clothes on. And it's like, God, I just want to break out. I feel that frustration, Chris. Wherever I go, whenever I'm speaking in churches or wherever, people are frustrated.
Yeah.
They're frustrated because they want to break out.
Yeah.
But mastery and focusing on our future, I think that's the key of breaking out.
Oh, man, you can't imagine the amount of frustration. It feels like in some environments that, have you ever, lit in a fire with, I know we have in the country, where you try to get that fire going, so you douse that mug with gasoline.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And you really know it's not safe, but you think you're quick enough, to light that match and then, you know what I'm saying? But I remember doing that and burning trash and leaves and stuff. We would do that, and we would throw that match, and all of a sudden you hear this, whoo, you know what I'm saying? It'll just go up, man, and everything will be incinerated, and with your eyelashes are burnt off and everything. Your arms, you're all burnt up. It feels like that we're living in that type of environment right now. It's volatile. It's volatile, man. It's a lot of things happen. It's a lot of things happening. A lot of thoughts, man. A lot of people are unsure, and I think that's because of the level of mediocrity and just status quo that we're dealing with. You know that in the course of the United States, you're a history buff. You know this.
Yes.
There were more inventions during the 60s and the 70s because people were engaged. You know, our society was engaged. The civil rights movement during that time, man, we put a man on the moon, or, you know, for
That's
some
right.
conspiracy theorists, they don't believe, but I don't know. The energy was there.
Yeah.
All right. And people were moving in the vein of doing better and being better and you breaking out of boundaries and, you know, past things. You know, and in this day and age, the only real innovation that you know a lot of people are dealing with is the latest social media innovation, the latest phone, the latest little thing that you have for yourself. But where's the movement and the mindset for greatness? You know what I'm saying? Where's the momentum that it takes to say, you know what? You know what I'm saying? We can be doing better. You know what I'm saying? And not only can we be doing better in theory and thought, you know what? Let's be better. Let's start walking this pathway out. And that brings down the volatility of a culture. But we're still dealing with that right now.
Man, and we see the pattern of mediocrity in the music. We see the pattern of, man, I went to Tyler, Texas. I want to give a shout out to Living the Word Ministries, Pastor Larry Jonigan and Sister Lady Jonigan. I was there this past Sunday. Chris preached there. And on my way to Tyler, it was about a 3.5 hour drive, beautiful drive. On my way there, I turned on a particular radio station. I'm not going to say it's a local hip-hop R&B station. And I could not tell the difference from when one song began and one song ended because they all sounded alike.
Yeah.
Some of them even had the same beats, the same rhythms. They were the same tempo.
Yeah.
The voices of the singers and the rappers sounded alike. There was no fluctuation in pitch. Yeah. And I believe, Chris, right now that there are people that are watching this broadcast and they feel that same, they're getting caught in that low.
Yeah.
So bring us to mastery.
Well, I like that point. And, you know, and since we are real, you know, we're going to be talking the way that we talk. And I believe it's intentional that we have our songs, that our mainstream media is you know, we're in this point in time where it's,
Kill it.
And, you know, even though it's catchy, but the lyrics, there's no words.
No
you know,
words.
there's no articulation of a thought. And the thought is so low. The thought level, I mean, is so low, dude. It's, you can't, you don't even, you know, we listened to songs when we were coming up, man. Even, I mean, let's be straight up, even in our days, like with Biggie and Pac and
they told stories.
They were telling stories.
They were telling stories.
Absolutely.
There was a beginning of a thought and the thought ended.
I mean, when Pac must have, straight out of jail, dreaming. I mean, you thought in your mind.
Yeah, you can see him coming out of jail.
Oh, man, you were like, dude, I could see what this dude is talking about. You know what I'm saying? I could see the ends and we were from the country, man, and you felt like you were in South Central LA.
Yeah.
You know, like you knew it, man. You know what I'm saying? Switches and everything, you know, cars bouncing, the whole nine, what it was. And, you know, this energy that was in the earth at that time, people were talking about stuff, painting stories. You can't paint no story, you know, right now. And when you fail to see a story, when you fail to have an image in your mind, if you're engaged in something that can't produce an image, if you can't see it, I mean, faith is really, you know, what you can't see, you know, because it starts internally. And if you don't have an image inside of yourself, you'll never be able to get to the stage of mastery and higher level thinking.
Mastery. Now, I want to give a definition. You're gonna hear that term of mastery. Mastery is this: when, like Chris said, when you set your intent, your mind, and your actions on becoming who God has called you to be purposefully, and not only that, you can put a semicolon on it, and being the best at it. Being the best at it. That's mastery. I don't just want to be an entrepreneur. I want to corner my market. I want to be the best at it. I don't want to be just one in the number. I want to rise to the top. God doesn't do encores. So that means whatever niche or vein that I'm in, whatever I want to become, I am the best at it.
Oh, wow.
You know, God doesn't keep creating the best in the same vein.
Yeah.
Jesus did it like this, and you'll hear us referring to Jesus. I don't know, you know, a lot of different people watch this, but that's just who we are. Jesus told his disciples, as great as he was, y'all see what these works and greater.
Absolutely.
It's a progression. God don't need no more Jesuses. He needs some people to be greater than that.
Yeah.
Ooh, did you hear
Man,
that, boy? All right, so check this out. Mastery. Mastery is becoming great in the intent, in the actions, in the thoughts, and the purposes that God has for your life. So that's going to take some conscious effort. It's going to take daily effort, daily grind. You can't be afraid of becoming great. You can't be afraid of becoming great.
Oh, wow.
I'm going to say that one more time. You cannot be afraid of becoming great.
That's a sweet spot, man. Because I think, I heard that before, that the fear of success is a real fear, for most people. The fear of failure is one thing, and we'll all fail. You'll fail on your way to success. But sometimes, man, you can have such an impactful, dynamic vision about your life, and it can scare you. It really make you afraid of doing that thing, because something's going to happen. In order for you to get there, you're going to be exposed. You know what I'm saying? Your weaknesses and your strengths will be exposed. Your uncomfortable moments, they're going to be exposed. Things that you know and things that you do not know are going to be exposed and tested. But you can't be afraid of that. You can't be afraid of standing on the stage of your life and declaring and saying to the world itself that I'm going to be the best me that I can be. I'm going to reach down deep inside of myself, and I'm going to manifest every imagination of my greatness that I've ever seen. You know what I'm saying? I feel it, man. Everything about myself that I've ever wanted to be, that moment for me is going to come, and I'm going to pursue it, and I'm going to get engaged in it. You know what I'm saying? I can be the best, whatever it is, the best welder, the best father, the best husband. You know what I'm saying? The best brother, the best son, the best neighbor. I mean, we don't have to talk about, just outrageous stuff right now. We're talking about you showing up in everything. I love what you said, intent in mind and in your actions to be the best person that you could possibly be, and to show that to the world, to give it to the world. There are three things that I say, and I think they're mastery keys, just like you said, with intent, mind, and actions. Three statements, man, that I talk to our kids about, in schools, and they go like this. It says, I will work hard every day to improve myself and build my community. Wow. It says, I will stay true to my convictions, to live with respect and love. And the third one is, I will be responsible for my own actions. I believe as we've conversed over the years, man, that came out of that. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? It's saying to myself that every day that I have an opportunity, I'm going to work on myself. I'm going to determine that there's something about myself that I can be, I can do, I can become. You know what I'm saying? And when I find out what that thing is, or if I refine it and I come up on it, I'm going to share it with my community. Right. Because to be good just by yourself does nobody any benefit. Right. You know what I'm saying? Right. It does nobody any benefit. So we have to work hard every day. And what I decide to be and what I become, I give that to my community. Secondly, just real fast on the, I will work hard. I will stay true to my convictions. I like that. You know what I'm saying? A moral compass is necessary. And two of the most powerful moral compasses that I believe we can bring into ourselves is the moral compass of love and respect. We have to go back to that. It's the foundation. Jesus said it. He said all of the law and everything in the world, every law of the universe hinges on love. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? That you gotta, and also inclusive of that is self-love. He says, love your neighbor as you would love yourself. Absolutely. So you love yourself, you love your neighbor, you share that, and you live with a measure of respect for yourself. Dignity and pride, man. You know what I'm saying? Bringing these ancient words, it seems like, back into our existence, and we can live from. And lastly, did you want to say something?
No, go ahead.
Let's say, okay, you know how we do it.
Yeah.
We just get in,
jump in, right?
And lastly, that I will be responsible for my actions. I've never lived in a day. We've never seen a day like this where everybody else is responsible for the thing that you decide to do. Right. You know what I'm saying? It's everybody else's fault for the thing that you decided to do. So we really got to look at this thing, and whether they're good or bad, you have to be responsible for the things that you produce in your life, man.
Chris, I want to pause right there. We have some incredible sponsors, people that are promoting and sponsoring this broadcast, brother to brother, get in touch with them. You'll see their information on the bottom of the screen as well. And if you want to be a part of this audience, if you want to get in on the conversation, we want to encourage you to do that. Now, Chris, you made a very, very, very powerful statement. You said you cannot be afraid of becoming successful, that fear of success. And then you said the picture that's before you, becoming that, it can be a fearful thing. I wanna stop right there as we talk about mastery, as we talk about you waking up every day to become great. The first thing in mastery that we did, and I can speak from our perspective, is that we made a vision board. We got magazines, we got pictures, we got exposure. We went to events that were out of our pay grade. Y'all get what I'm saying? We went to events, we went to conferences where the ticket might be $100 to get into the conference, and we would go to those conferences with $110. You remember that?
You ain't gonna eat. We gonna
So we gonna give $100 to get in the conference. We got $5 to eat at one point, and then the other $5 we go on the way home. We'll get some pork skins or something like that, pork rinds. But after we got the picture, after we got exposure, after we started meeting people that we wanted to pattern our lives after, preachers, one of your mentors, mentoring.
Yeah. That's a great point, bro.
Mentoring is so important to mastery. Who's mentoring you right now?
Yeah.
Right now. Okay. Is it the OG in your hood? Is it your uncle? I mean, is it a coworker that has a nice car and you want to be like, I want to drive like him? You don't know nothing about it. It's like, who's your mentor?
Yeah.
So we got a picture of what we want in our life to look at. That's point number one. Number two, we found mentors to help us get there. Who are some of your mentors?
They varied over the years, depending on what stage of life I'm in. Some of my earlier mentors were Les Brown. We really had a good relationship and getting introduced to him. I've had non-famous people as mentors, people that I just like how their life turns out.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? If you can get close to them, close enough to just see, how are you making decisions? How are things affecting your life? What are you doing in this? When you wake up, every moment that I've had an opportunity to quote unquote meet somebody that's famous, I ask them, what do they do every day?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Who was that you met? He was in the bathroom or something. You rolled up on him like, break yourself. Give me all the information. all the knowledge.
I mean, I've done that many times, even in the bathroom.
Hey, man.
Like, hey, man, how you doing? But I think it's an important question. I've never gotten caught up in fame and fortune. I believe that everybody wakes up in the morning and put their pants on the same way. But the thing that makes them different is you have to understand, what do you do every day?
Oh.
Yeah, what are you doing? You know what I'm saying? Because I don't want to just, I think in a mentor relationship, I love when you say that, because if you can get close enough to somebody, you can't be mentored by people from the stage. That's the performance. You know what I'm saying? You got to be mentored. You got to catch them in practice. Oh, man. Oh, that's a sweet spot right there. If you want to be, let's talk about athletics. You're an athlete. If you want to see how great a person is, you catch them at practice.
In practice.
You catch them in the preseason when the lights are down, you know what I'm saying? And they're not in the stadiums, you know what I'm saying? They done grew out the beard, the hair. You wouldn't even recognize them. Why? Because they're honed in. They're up 3 and 4 o'clock in the morning, running and sweating and hurting. And you go work out with them, you know what I'm saying? Yeah. Then you'll see, because you can't be like them on the stage. So if you can get an opportunity in your life to find somebody in the practice room, you know what I'm saying? Find them in the gym. You know what I'm saying? And we're speaking metaphorically. Find them in the gyms of their life. Find them in the early mornings of their life. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Find these people and create things. That's where you start developing habits of greatness, habits of that you can, because sex is, not sex, but success.
Success, yeah.
Is duplicatable. You know what I'm saying?
I'm a LeBron James fan.
Yeah.
And this time goes by so quick. I've noticed something in the workout films, and we're going to get back to mentoring. Make sure you need to be making a list right now of who mentors are. LeBron James. I was fascinated with him from the time he left high school to his current status as the best basketball player probably in history by the end of his career. And as I'm watching his YouTube videos work out, I still, I try to stay in shape. And I'm like, what is he doing to do that? And I noticed something, Chris. In some of his videos, he was working out with Chris Bosh, Chalmers, D. Wade.
Yeah.
Some other videos, he had some other guys, Kevin Durant, Carmelo Anthony. Then he had some other guys and some other guys. And I noticed that every time he worked out, the same people in the last video wasn't in the next video. In the next video, because I believe that at some point they said, LeBron, you are crazy. I mean, your workout is extreme. He works out 3 times a day.
Yeah.
They asked Michael Phelps, how did you win gold medals? I'm a Michael Phelps fan.
Yeah, absolutely.
He said, I went and watched the gold medal swimmers work out. He said, I wrote down their workout. You better hear what I'm saying.
Come on, man.
He said, I wrote down their workout, and I did what they did in a day, I did it 3 times.
Oh, wow. Yeah, yeah,
in a day.
yeah.
If this workout got them a gold medal, then I should be 3 times greater than them.
Oh, that's great.
And so having a mentor, if you're gonna move into mastery, you got to get a picture of yourself, number 1. You got to have a mentor, number 2. And 3, like Chris just said, you have to hone in on it. I want to give a shout out to my sister who has a life coach and a counseling business up in Dallas, Texas called Life in Motion. And incredible. Y'all look her up, show her some love, see what she has going on. But Nina has a habit. This is our sister, Nina. Nina has a habit of when she sees something like a pit bull, she locks on it. She goes after it. And nothing is going to shake her. Her mind is set. And the only time that she will step away from that plan, Chris, and we're talking about mastery. She's vice president of one of the largest vocational schools in the Southeast. So listen what I'm saying. The only time she diverts from what she's doing is to relax and reset.
Yeah. That, it's so much in that, man. And I want to back up, you know what I'm saying? Because the relax and reset is definitely a portion of that. But you have to do a whole bunch before you can relax and reset.
Come on, boy.
Sometimes relaxing and resetting it's very small. You know what I'm saying? You don't stay in that part. But I want to go back to, like you said, intentional focus.
Okay.
As this being that third point in mastery. And I think the more we talk, as we always do, we'll come up on other ones. But that focus, that intent. And I just want to talk to it about, how we're in this current day. There are not a lot of people that have the ability to focus. Focus is a very, very eluding characteristic in this day and time. And you know why so? I believe it's because we are presented with so many distractions. Man, there was a point in time in life that, about 10 years ago, 10 to 15 years ago, where life was really simple. You know what I'm saying? Where people, we talk about it. Can you take me back to the times when it was simple, man? Life was simple. You know why it was simple?
Wow.
Because it was so focused.
Wow.
It was really focused. We didn't have the phones. We didn't have the billboards. And, I have cable at my house, man. 1,000 channels. I can look at 1,000 different things every day. You remember when it was just 4, 6,
and 12.
4, 6, and 12, man.
And then the Rainbow Channel.
And Joker was 4, and TV went off. You remember when TV went off?
After MASH.
After MASH, about 12 o'clock.
12 o'clock, they played the national anthem.
And then
It's
TV was
they like, go to bed.
Go to bed. But now you don't have to go to bed. We got 24-hour restaurants. We got 24-hour TV. Facebook never stops. Social media never stops. And these are great things. But our attention is always captivated by something. And so you really, really, really have to press, to find your focus, to hone in on that thing, man. And you don't need, let me say this and I'll give it back to you, Brett. You don't need everything in your life that's presented to you.
Wow.
You don't need it. And we tell our sons that. We've tried to raise them in a way where I don't supply all of your wants.
No.
I supply need.
Wow.
I don't supply wants. You know what I'm saying? Because you can want so much for your life. And I still have to be the filter to say for you, that's not necessary.
It's not good. Yeah.
It's not good. And we got to bring that message back into our life. Some things are just not necessary. I don't care how many options you have on the plate, how many things you got in front of you, man. Focus is saying, I know the difference between what's needed, okay, and what's wanted. You know what I'm saying? And if I want to get something out of my life, if I want to do something that's very important for me, I got to focus on the need. You know what I'm saying? What's necessary for the moment and get the distractions up out of there.
Now, again, this time goes by so fast. We're almost out of time. We're going to wrap all of this up. We just want to give you the 3 points of mastery that we talked about into you moving into your future, into you becoming who God has created you to be. That's why the brothers here. That's what we want to do. We want to raise your social awareness. We want to raise the awareness of where you are in life so you can become that. We're on that journey, and we want you to take this journey with us. So number one, we say get a picture, get a glimpse of who you want to be, what you want to, if you got to get magazines, if you got to go somewhere to a museum, do like we do, hitchhike to a conference and say, hey, this is what we want to become. This is what we want to do. So number one, get a picture, put that picture up in front of you. Number two, the next thing you need to do, what did we say? You got to find you a mentor.
You got to find a person, place, or thing, because mentors are just not people all the time. It has to be a purpose, a person, place, or thing, a mindset, you know what I'm saying? Something that is happening that you can hone in with, make that a part of your life and say, I will think like this. I will do like this. I will follow these patterns, and those things can be mentors.
And the third thing in these last few moments that we really want as you're on your path to mastery is that you have to hone in, lock in. You have to focus on that thing every day. It's going to take work, but you can do it.
Absolutely.
You can do it. You can be it. You can become it. Chris, give us some love words that we need to introduce as we close in these final few minutes.
I mean, some love words, man, as you become it. You know what I'm saying? You're made for this. You know what I'm saying? Purpose is just not a figment of our imagination. It's just not a cool word to talk about. Purpose is very applicable. It's real. It has substance to it. And I want you to adopt for yourself your life purpose. I want you to look deep inside of your beautiful heart and say to yourself, I'm worthy of it.
Yeah.
All right. I'm worthy of the fearfully and wonderfully made that I know I am. I'm worthy to bring that into my life because you can be it, you can do it, you can see it, you can become it. I don't know what other words, man. It's just so much positivity that I think we have to bring into our life and that you have to accept for yourself. So baby girl, man, go out and get it.
That's right.
Baby boy, go out and be it.
Go get it.
Man.
Do it.
I'm telling you, believe in yourself no matter what's in front of you, no matter what anybody else is doing, no matter what your environment is saying to you. You believe the thing that you want to be for yourself. Bring that thing wholeheartedly into your life, and you will find that you can accomplish amazing, amazing things, brother.
You're tuned in to Brother to Brother, the social awareness show that's going to help you be what God has called you to be. My name is Jeremy. This is Chris.
I'm Chris.
And we're two brothers from the same mother. God bless you. Take care.
Here we go. Come on. Say my faith is stronger than it's ever been before, and I will